Hi, rockers! Have you seen this picture these days? It has appeared on a lot of social media on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on news reports, I would say. Yeah, on Facebook, on X, okay? It has sparked countless discussions, debates, and of course, lots of conspiracy theories. What's your opinion about it? Well, some people believe it's a secret road map for the future. Others think it's filled with hidden messages about world events, politics, artificial intelligence, and even global crisis. But it is really predicting the future. Or is it simply encouraging us to think critically about the trends shaping our world? Well, in today's sessions, yeah, we are going to decode this fascinating infographic inspired by The Economist, The World Ahead, 2026. Yes. Together, we'll explore the symbols, the hidden meanings, and the major global issues it highlights, from geopolitics and artificial intelligence to the economy, healthcare, and the changing balance of power around the world. Most importantly, we'll separate facts from speculation and discover why one single image has generated so much conversation across social media. So grab your phones, your headphones, open your mind, and let's start decoding the world ahead. Let's rock your English, our English. So, what can you see? This is like a little more simplified. Well, some people could comment that there is a guy like as if it were kicking a ball. And this guy is wearing a red jersey. Is it Spain winning the World Cup? Oh my gosh. There in the middle for sure, that's Trump, okay, with the red cap. Why 250? Because remember that on the 4th of July, the US turned 250. They were celebrating their independence. All right. There's this attacking. There are swords, two swords crossed round. Yes, there's the money symbol, the dollar, but it's upside down. There are satellites. There are nuclear bombs. Now, you see this guy in red? It reminds me of the pandemic times. What do you think? Some people looking at it closely, they see this, for example, the ship. What about the ship? Yes, Norway, that was so famous, became so famous in the World Cup with a rowing boat. Yes, there are lots of ideas here. Where it says, this is the cover of The Economist, The Work Ahead 2026, its annual special issue that represents or presents the magazine's analysis of the major political, economical, technological, and social trends expected to shape the coming year. The cover is intentionally packed with symbols rather than literal predictions. So, here we've got some questions to talk about in our classes. What is the first thing that catches your attention? Why do you think the artist chose a glove as the central image? Which symbols represent politics, technology, conflict? What emotions does the cover create? Why are only a few colors used? Some people say that it was like the final match in the World Cup. Blue and red, Argentina versus Spain. Which global issue do you think is the most important? Do magazine covers influence public opinion? If you design the world ahead, okay, 2027, what images would you include? Which symbol do you think is the most optimistic? Do you think this cover reflects today's world accurately, perfectly? Why or why not? So have a look at the picture again. Here you are. Have a look. Well, this is what we discuss in our classes. All right. Now, I used the artificial intelligence to recreate this image. decoding the world ahead. So, in this infographic, we've got some of the information we've got from the picture, the previous one. All right. So we'll listen to kind of podcast. Hmm?
Hack, Rock Your English. At English Zone Rocks podcast script, 2026, Decoding the World Ahead. Intro, High Rockers, welcome back to Rock Your English. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating infographics of the year, 2026, Decoding the World Ahead. Inspired by The Economist's vision of the future, this illustration brings politics, economics, technology, health, and global power in one dramatic image. But remember, this isn't a crystal ball. LexiHack, it's a visual discussion about possibilities, challenges, and trends that may shape our world. So, let's decode it together. The center, the Trumpnado. The first thing that immediately grabs our attention is the enormous swirling tornado in the middle of the image. At its center is Donald Trump, surrounded by red and blue winds, the colors traditionally associated with American politics. The tornado symbolizes disruption. It suggests that one political leader could once again influence not only the United States, but also international diplomacy, trade, alliances, and financial markets. The spiral also reminds us that political decisions rarely stay inside one country. Instead, they spread across the world, affecting economies, security, migration, and international cooperation. Geopolitical drift. Let's move to the upper left corner. Here we see the White House with a giant sign reading Deal. Instead of talking about long-term alliances or international institutions, the image suggests a world based on transactional diplomacy. Countries may negotiate issue by issue, focusing on national interests rather than global cooperation. Nearby, tanks and national flags remind us that diplomacy and military power often go hand in hand. America at 250. Just below that is a huge birthday cake with the number 250. This celebrates the 250th anniversary of the United States, one of the major events of 2026. Behind the cake stands the Capitol building, while crowds wave American and Chinese flags. The illustration hints that the celebrations may happen during an intense political period, with midterm elections testing democratic institutions and public trust. It's a reminder that anniversaries can also become moments of political reflection. Hash spheres of influence. Now look at the bottom left. An American eagle faces a Chinese dragon. Neither animal appears defeated. Instead, they stare at each other with determination. These powerful national symbols represent the growing competition between the world's two largest economies. This isn't only about military strength. It's about trade, technology, artificial intelligence, semiconductor production, energy, rare minerals, and global influence. The artwork suggests that the world may become increasingly divided into competing geopolitical blocs. Economic strains and tech frontiers. Now let's cross over to the upper right. Here we find a futuristic AI data center glowing with purple and blue lights. Above it appears a giant brain. Next to it are charts showing that around 90% of AI computing capacity may remain concentrated in only a few countries, especially the United States and China. This raises an important question. Will artificial intelligence reduce inequality or make it even worse? If only a handful of nations control the most powerful AI systems, many developing countries could struggle to compete. The infographic calls this a growing AI divide. Bond market crisis warning. Below the AI center, the mood changes dramatically. A tower made of financial books is collapsing. Money flies through the air. Warning signs flash. A cracked graph falls sharply downward. This section represents fears surrounding government debt, inflation, high interest rates, and fragile financial markets. The message is clear. If governments continue spending beyond their means, investors could lose confidence, creating instability across the global economy. The next generation of weight loss drugs. In the lower right corner, we enter the world of medicine. There are syringes, capsules, and futuristic medical devices. The infographic focuses on GLP-1 medications, drugs originally developed to treat diabetes that are now transforming obesity treatment. However, the image goes beyond healthcare. It asks a broader question. Will these medicines become tools for improving health, Or will they evolve into products aimed at boosting performance, appearance, and longevity? This opens fascinating ethical debates about medicine, fairness, and the future of human enhancement. The Super Forecaster Panel. In the center sits a digital dashboard called the 2026 Super Forecaster Predictions. Rather than making absolute predictions, it assigns probabilities. Among the forecasts are Republicans having a strong chance of controlling both the House and Senate, moderate economic growth in the United States, increased tariffs on imported goods. This section reminds us that forecasting isn't about certainty. It's about evaluating evidence, calculating probabilities, and preparing for multiple possible futures.
Mhm.
Colors and design. The artist uses a striking contrast between fiery reds and cool electric blues. Red symbolizes conflict, urgency, politics, and economic pressure. Blue represents technology,
Mhm.
innovation, intelligence, and global networks. The swirling lines connect every section of the infographic, suggesting that politics, economics, science, health, and technology are deeply interconnected. Nothing happens in isolation anymore.
Mhm.
One event can ripple across the entire planet. Final reflection. What makes this infographic so compelling is that it doesn't simply predict events. Instead, it encourages us to ask better questions. Will artificial intelligence unite humanity or divide it? Will political competition strengthen democracy or increase polarization? Can economic growth continue without creating financial instability? Will new medical breakthroughs improve our quality of life while remaining accessible and ethical? The future isn't written yet.
Mhm.
It depends on the decisions governments, businesses, scientists, and ordinary citizens make every day. And perhaps that's the most important message of all. Outrow. Thank you for listening, rockers. Now it's
Mhm.
your turn. Which part of this infographic do you find the most surprising? Do you agree with these predictions? Or do you imagine a very different future? Share your ideas, challenge each other's opinions, and keep the conversation alive. Would you like to join our conversation club, Talk and Rock, to ace your speaking skills? You are always welcome. Remember, stay hungry, stay curious, stay tuned. English Zone rocks. Keep on rocking it.
All righty. So, how was it? Yes, how was this fascinating recording? And yes, comparing this picture and the magazine cover, which was discussed or debated in many, many different means, okay? Different social media platforms. So, you must have heard about it a lot. So, I like, I mean, there's so much to talk about. This was the other one, okay? So, remember, these are just some ideas for you to get input, to provide opinions, okay, to help you create and ace your language, as we say, no? To try to take notes, I mean, get ideas in order to speak in class, okay? As this is a topic that has become kind of not trendy, but people are aware of, no? I mean, what is it? These predictions are okay or not? Or is it just fantasy, as Queen says? So, this is the idea for you to keep this in mind, practice, and obviously practice all the skills, all right? Especially reading, writing, listening. We need to listen to a lot of podcasters or whatever, okay? So I found this kind of not fascinating, I would say, but ouch, there's something there. And there's still so much to talk about this one, but thank you for all the students who joined our sessions this week because everybody helped us to find more information. Yes, more ideas about it. So thank you so much. And we need to give on rocking it. Yes, and there will be lots of ideas, more ideas that will appear ahead. Okay, so see you in our next session. Bye bye. Keep on rocking it.